Good evening, everybody. It's Brandon Rutherman for the TikTok Tournament Tip-Off Fast Break Show. And we are going to get down to the business of doing picks immediately. Thanks to a Facebook technicality, we are going into basically what amounts to a gasoline fire style fast break. We got a lot of picks to make, along with the 14 that are going to be played out on Friday. First off, Michigan is playing Howard on Thursday. After Howard's win last night over UMBC, we're taking Michigan in that one. Texas, which I believe is playing BYU. They are the 11th seed. After their win over NC State, the Fighting McConaughey's will get it done over BYU. By the way, Sean Miller, former Pitt Panther, former head coach at Arizona, and Xavier, running the show down there in Austin. Meanwhile, the winner of tonight's Prairie View A&M Lehigh game will have the dubious distinction of taking on Florida, so we won't go too far into that one. I'm going to go ahead and take the Gators, and Tennessee has the winner of tonight's Miami of Ohio SMU game, and as tempting as it would be to want to take either one of those teams, I'm going to ride with Rocky Top and take Tennessee. That's those first four / first round games. Whew, that was a lot to process there. And we got that done in 2 minutes now. 14 games in less than 8 minutes. Let's go. Kentucky, the 7th seed in the Midwest region, taking on number 10 Santa Clara. I'm going to go with Kentucky in that one. Number 5 Texas Tech hosting the 12 seed Akron, who I have upsetting Texas Tech in some of the 63 brackets that I have submitted. However, I am taking the Red Raiders, who I think are finding out a lot about themselves after the loss of J.C. Coppin, or is it J.T. Coppin? Coppin State. You have to pardon me. Coppin State, first 15 seed to ever knock out a 2, and it was done in Pittsburgh many, many years ago. Anyway, Texas Tech over Akron. That's a Midwest regional game. Quick one off the top. Arizona, who I have winning it all in 17 of my 63 brackets, taking on Long Island, the 16th seed. That will be Arizona's game there. I'm going to call my upset on this next one. And the folks in Charlottesville are going to hate me for this. I am going with the 14 seed Wright State. Is it Vikings? Yeah. I'm thinking of Portland State. This is the price you pay when you only have so little time to try to figure out how much info you want to do, especially in 10 minutes when your top dog is down to a technical issue. So Facebook getting the bench while TikTok now takes over at quarterback. So yes, I'm taking 14 seed Wright State to upset number 3 Virginia. Number 2 Iowa State, number 15 Tennessee State, another Midwest region game. As tempting as it would be to want to entertain thoughts of having a 15 seed like Coppin State that I talked about seconds ago, I'm not going to fall into that trap, not when there's Iowa State there in a Big 12 heavy conference that's loaded on potential Elite Eighters and possible Final Fours amongst the top 3 or 4, namely Arizona to start with, Houston, maybe Kansas, definitely Iowa State could be mentioned in that conversation. If I'm leaving somebody out, please forgive me. Taking Iowa State in that one. Number 4, Alabama, another Midwest regional game. They're playing number 13, Hofstra. Hofstra, who once upon a time had a football program, and their most famous player played for the New York Jets, a guy by the name of Wayne Krebet. And he was a cult figure, for the Jets. Seems like they want to always turn their players into cult figures, but you can't do it unless you win first. That's a separate issue. Anyway, roll Tide, roll. Taking Bama. And on the final game of the first half of the early window games, Utah State and number 9 Utah State and number 8 Villanova. That's a West Regional game that could go either way. I'm very tempted to want to go for Utah State, but going to go with Villanova. So, yes, Villanova in that one. Now, we go to the back 7. In a South Regional first round game, another 9-8 matchup with number 9 Iowa and number 8 Clemson, another one that could go either way. I am going to take Clemson in this one. Clemson might have the potential of pulling off a Sweet 16 bid, but it's going to be very difficult to do it, especially when you consider their run of luck against number 1 seeds, which I don't have any proof. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants, shooting from the hip, spitting it out as I'm going along. And if I'm wrong on some things, I may be right on others. I'll take the glass half full over the glass half empty anytime. Clemson over Iowa in that one. Northern Iowa, who I have upsetting St. John's in some of my brackets, will not get the distinction here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is not a polyester St. John's lanyard, but it is a lanyard, and I'm putting it on. And besides, I'm sure the world will have to put up with another Rick Pitino angled run to the championship that, as far as I know, may go a lot deeper than what people might expect. So do keep an eye out for the Johnnies. Number 7, UCLA, East Region. Number 10, UCF. This one has the potential of doing some very interesting things. Both schools. I could see both of them going into the Sweet 16, but one of them's getting knocked out. I got to ride with UCLA. They've been battle-tested in the Big Ten, and I think they'll do just fine to start the tournament. Beyond that is anybody's guess, especially when you consider that Michigan State might be around the bend, and I don't know if UCLA wants to visit that. With over 2 minutes to go and a few more picks left, let's go. Queens, the Royals from Charlotte, against number 2 Purdue, West Region. Queens, the 15th seed. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Queens lanyard. And how do I know this is not a tried and true polyester one? This is bookstore material right here. So, rather than playing that card, we're playing it safe and taking Purdue. Just so you know. Queens, Santa Clara is another one. St. John's. Got to get their polyester game up. We need them. Kansas, the 4 seed in the East Region against number 13 Cal Baptist. Everything hinges on whether or not Peterson, the much talked about player for Kansas, can actually play. They'll get by on the first round. Beyond that is anybody's guess. We're taking Kansas. And now quickly, with a minute to go, 15 seed Furman, 2 seed UConn, East Region. Oh, I would love to say F you to UConn, but I can't. That's Furman's job. I'm taking UConn. And finally, the number 10 seed Missouri and number 7 Miami. It's a West Region game. Another one that could go either way. I am going to go ahead and take Miami because, after all, it is all about the U. So, there you have it, folks. With time to spare, that wraps up the Friday picks, the Friday first round picks for the NCAA tournament. And a reminder, we're going to be back here Saturday morning to start the second round. Until then, from all of me to all of you, it's Brandon Rutherman signing off for the TikTok Tournament Tip-Off Fast Break Show. Have yourselves a great one and enjoy the madness.